Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of Thor issue 6. And this was a pretty epic end to this whole saga with Galactus, and it's going to be interesting to see where this goes from here. So we actually start at the end. We see that it's in Asgard later, and that the Silver Surfer has come to visit Thor, and that he's coming. He's like, "Hey, dude, how's it going?" Pretty much, and Thor's sitting on his throne drinking because of all this weight of what has gone on. I'm like, "Yeah, I've been in your position. Why don't you kind of tell me what happened?" And then, of course, we go back to the point. We see that Galactus and him are getting ready to fight the Black Winter, but Thor's not having any of it. He's pissed off that Galactus has essentially usurped his role from this Black Winter and has pretty much been hiding in this doomed universe as the Black Winter's been telling. And he pretty much thunders down on Galactus. Galactus is like, "You dare strike me?" And starts like blasting at him. He's like, "Power that I've allowed you to take." And he's really pissed off. He's like, "You've eaten all these worlds, and you've done this to be strong enough to fight this thing. You've taken homes, you've taken people," and you can see that as Thor's like going through and doing this. He's somehow able to wrest the power that has been imbued in Galactus and takes it for his own. And you're like, "No, for all of these worlds," and he starts listing them off. "I sentence you to die," and throws Mjolnir through Galactus's chest, and it's like, holy shit! And Galactus is like, "You have no idea what you've done." Of course, the Black Winter's like, "Hey, just let me have him. He's mine." And Thor's like, "No, I still, I still have need of him." He's like, "What do you need him for? A slave? A trophy? What the hell?" And of course, we see as the whole thing's being talked about how like children are hearing thunder throughout the void where he's like a bomb, and then he utilizes Galactus's body and all the energy of all the worlds, hundreds of thousands, and he unleashes it like a god bomb and decimates the Black Winter. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much the only kind of level that you can do to take on Universe Destroyer on the level of Galactus, and it makes sense that, how do I put it? In the infinite kind of spectrum, there are things that are as gods to one thing and ants another. So it makes sense that Galactus would be an ant herald to another force that does the same kind of thing he does. I always kind of am interested in seeing how those kind of things work out and how those kind of power differentials work out, and seeing that the Black Winter's pretty much been destroyed except for one kind of snowflake comes down into Thor's hand. He's like, "You've won nothing, but I can show you your end if you wish." And he's like, "Show me." And then we go back and we see that Thor has taken Galactus's helmet and used it as a trophy on the Bifrost, and the Silver Surfer's like, "Wow, I'm kind of mournful for Galactus, but not really." Same with Thor. He's like, "I don't mourn him." I'm like, well, he kind of needed that to be done, and then of course Silver Surfer's like, "What did you see as your true end, though?" And Thor, of course, is freaked out. And I love the art in this because, one, it does the epicness of what was going on with the whole Galactus and Black Winter fight, but like Thor's frenzied look of looking at the Silver Surfer, like, "What did I see?" And then we see it, and it's fucking nuts. We see pretty much all these zombies, like the Marvel zombies, which are like, that's not good. We also then see Thanos wielding Mjolnir, which is fucked up, and we'll have to see how that kind of shakes out. Encrusted with the Infinity Gems, and having a dark kind of Infinity Gauntlet, which I'm going to potentially go and say is like the Necro Sword or something. Like, this is Null's thing of bringing the universe to heal. Or potentially it's Thanos t- coming in the last second to kind of do that himself and keep something. We'll have to kind of see. And Thor has also been alluding that Mjolnir is getting heavier and heavier, so we're going to have to figure out how to make sure that that gets hammered out. But Thor doesn't tell the Silver Surfer about this. He just says darkness and nothing else. I'm like, so this is our in-game goal at the moment. This is where, at least in this portion, this will be Thor's end, as opposed to the one that was in Jason Aaron's run. Now, it'll be interesting to see how this one shakes out. I like the one with Jason Aaron, but I mean, I always like seeing the restart of all these different kind of mythologies. Whenever somebody takes over like a title like Thor, it's built into it. Ragnarok, you end something and then you see it start up again, and that's one hell of a fucking image. Now, granted, I understand Thanos is pretty much on Kate's wheelhouse with how he's dealt with him, so I have no kind of issue with that, or Null or whatnot being brought in. It's just like, oh god, seeing Thanos wielding Mjolnir encrusted with like infinity stones and a dark gauntlet that could potentially be something of the Necro Sword while surrounded by zombies. That's a fucking tease and foreshadowing right there that'll be really interesting to see how that shakes out, if it's true, if it's not true, and how it kind of factors into what it actually means. So I'm like, epic end to Galactus, epic end to the Black Winter, and definitely a reason why Thor would be drinking for months. Like, I'm like, that's not how you deal with those problems. I still maintain that, but I completely understand Thor's course of being like, I saw some shit, I did some shit, and I need a minute. Right? That's turned into a couple months, but he needs a minute. So I'm so excited to see where this is going to be going, and cannot wait for the next issue. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.